So here is gold coming up, hopefully. And let's look right in here. We'll just take a look at these two harmonic families. Now, interesting in gold, this harmonic family, you see this big blue cycle bracket right over here. It's really made up of like 4 minor cycles that are in there. And you can see the minor cycle patterns here. And how they form right in here is very clear. And this has brought some pretty good accuracy in our analysis following these beautiful patterns. Now, this dashed line is silver. So it's interesting because the silver and gold cycles are slightly what we call out of phase. So that means that sometimes they fight against each other. So right now you can see silver made a low right over here, gold is making a low right over here, and they're probably both going to get some lift in this period right here. So we were looking for it to move down again below the 1900 area, potentially down here to 1875 to 1830. The time period is really passing for that, and if I take a little closer look right in here, you will see that that we're having this big, we had a good size down day here, and now we're getting a bigger update right in here. So there's a potential that you're going to have a couple days where it pulls back again, but not likely to the level that we thought. So this is showing more strength. Now, momentum is neutral. It was positive in here, and it went neutral. When the slim ribbon gets flat, kind of lays on top of each other, it shows you that momentum is not developing. Now we're getting this big up day, and it's not enough for it to develop yet. We might get a couple of more down days in here where investors kind of throw them away. It really depends if the dollar can get any up days, and it looks really sick. And then you see we have this move projected up again. So this is the next projection. This is what we call the most likely projection that we see in here. And you'll notice the silver market correction down over here. We think silver is this action is probably going to keep gold from being able to take off in any kind of a significant way. And then there's a nested area. That's those gray areas that you see down on the bottom. And that's where these cycles kind of come down together right in here. So it looks like there's more correction out into September. This looks like a range-bound period to us, 1900 to around high 20s right in there. And if you can buy it around 1900, I think it's a gift. And if it just runs away right up into those high 20s, near 2100, it would not be that much of a surprise. There are resistance levels in here. We're actually looking for this to really stall in this area of about 2025 to 2050, and then kind of back off again and give you another opportunity over here. Now we're coming into what is this bigger rising cycle right over there. And I could be under anticipating the upside potential in here. I don't think that I'm being too bullish when I say it could only tick down under here close to 1900 or a little bit under that. I think that the patterns are telling us the power of this market. And I think the Fed actions are very clear. The Fed policy change where they want inflation to run hot, well, there's a potential for it to run very hot if they start really doing some nonsense. Well, they're already doing nonsense. But then, so I think breaking out has a much better chance than breaking down. I would make a breakout 4 times as likely as a breakdown underneath this 1830 area. So we're really in a period where the question is, how much of a rally, and will it stay in the range that we're looking at, and be nice and quiet until the real favorable period comes out into late September and into October, or is it just going to take off and explode right now? So you can tell I'm really starting to feel more positive on it. I love it when you get these kind of cycles where corrections are due into areas where there's some nested area and they can't fall. That means the buyers are there. And we're likely to see higher prices. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to look for maybe a little zigzag in here and then trying to get to the upside, a modest pullback again, and then potentially taking off on the upside right there. So that is a look at gold, which, as you can tell, we're quite favorable on.